Presenting Take Your Choice, a new comedy quiz starring Mr. Fred Allen.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Take Your Choice. This is a new sort of cafeteria quiz-type show which gives you an opportunity to select your own questions and win up to $5,000 if you are fortunate, of course. Now, before we start throwing money at you, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have you meet two volunteer workers who are going to help me out with this experiment here tonight. First, the Vice President in charge of questions and answers, Mr. Tex Antoine. Tex? And now the hostess in charge of contestants, ladies and gentlemen, a young lady with whom I've been associated artistically for a number of weeks, months, years, and so forth, Miss Portland Hoffer. How are you tonight?
Just fine.
And whom do we have to play Take Your Choice?
Catherine Decker, who is visiting from Asheville, Ohio, and Professor Roger Holmes of Mount Holyoke College, who has invented a very unusual machine.
Well, that's fine, Portland. Thank you very much. Would you care to join us here?
Oh, I'd love to, but I haven't any chair.
Isn't that a shame? You should always carry a chair around with you, Portland. You may never know when you might be called on to be a sitter, and then you'll be prepared. Always keep that in mind, Portland. Miss Decker? Is it Catherine Decker? It is Miss Decker, isn't it?
Yes, I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married, huh? You're a single Decker, in other words.
Yes.
Huh? Well, Miss Decker, you are from Asheville, Ohio, I see here. What do you do there?
I live on a farm.
Oh, on a farm?
Yes.
You are not the original farmer's daughter, by any chance?
No, I'm the farmer.
You're the farmer. Well, Professor Holmes of Mount Holyoke College, Portland said that you have invented a rather unusual machine.
Yes, it's a thinking machine, Fred.
How does your thinking machine work?
Well, you put an argument on the machine by turning dials, and then if the argument is valid, a green light shows up, and if the argument is not, a red light shows up.
Well, what is a typical problem that you would give the machine, Professor?
Well, here's one. Humans are funny, and Fred Allen is funny, therefore Fred Allen is human. Of course, that wouldn't work.
Now, wait a minute, Professor. Oh, no, wait a minute. No machine is going to flunk me out of the human race. I think your machine must have a screw loose in it or something. Do you agree with this thinking, Miss Decker?
It's all right.
I mean, you've heard better on the farm, though, huh?
Yeah.
But tell me, how long do you plan to be here in New York?
Well, not too long. You see, the egg money doesn't last long in a big city.
The egg money? Well, I hope you'll win some money tonight. Maybe you can give the hens a week off when you get back. It's been nice talking to you, Miss Decker and Professor Holmes, and now it's time for you to play Take Your Choice. It's a game where one of you chooses the questions for his partner to answer. Now, choosing takes just as much skill, naturally, as answering, because we want you to take the easiest questions to help the person who's answering the question. So, which one of you can have a little conference there and tell me which one of you would like to do the questioning, the choosing, and who would like to do the answering?
You better let me do the choosing. The professor should know all the answers.
Well, all right, Miss Decker, if you'll do the choosing, if you'll go over to the question board to Tex Antoine, he will tell you exactly what you have to do.
All right, thank you, Fred. This is our question board, and in just a moment you'll see a frame of 3 questions. They'll appear in these spaces. Now, your job, Miss Decker, will be to pick one question from these 3, the one that you think the professor, your partner, can answer. You can indicate your choice with just one of these arrows here. Now, if your partner answers correctly, you'll then go on to another frame of 3 questions. And if the 2 of you can go through 5 frames successfully, you'll divide $5,000. However, if you miss anywhere along the line, you will get $100 for each answer correctly given. Ready to play? All right, Fred, I think we're all set over here.
All right, Tex. Are you ready, Professor? Well, let's hope that your partner picks the questions that are easiest for you. We're all set for the first step toward the $5,000. All right, let's see what our first questions are, Tex.
All right, Fred, here are the names of 3 well-known musicians. Miss Decker, pick one, and your partner must name the instrument he plays. They are Jose Iturbi, Louis Armstrong, Jack Benny. Take your choice.
Louis Armstrong.
He plays a trumpet.
Correct. All right, that's 1 down, 4 to go for $5,000. All right, let's see our next questions, please.
Here we have 3 famous characters from 3 famous books. Pick one. Your partner must name the book. They are Fagin, Hester Prynne, Simon Legree. Take your choice.
Simon Legree.
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
That is correct. And you have 3 more to go to the $5,000, Professor. Let's see our next questions, Tex.
Here, Fred, are the names of 3 things. Pick one, and your partner must tell what it is. They are umiak, wombat, ads. Take your choice.
Wombat.
That's an animal.
That is correct. Well, that's fine, Professor. You've turned the studio into a classroom up to now. You only have 2 more frames, and you will have $5,000, you and Miss Decker. Are you set? Let's have the next questions, Tex, please.
All right, Fred, here are the names of 3 famous buildings. Pick one, and your partner must name the city where it is located. They are Terminal Tower, Book Tower, Fauché Tower. Take your choice.
Book Tower.
I think that's in Detroit.
Oh, yes, it is. That's right, with the Book Cadillac Hotel is there, too. Well, now we've come to the big question, Professor. If you answer this one correctly, you and Miss Decker have $5,000. Are you, relaxed, Professor? All right. Let us see. I'm dying out, too. The professor and I are disappearing together here. All right, let's have our big question, Tex, please.
All right, Fred, for $5,000, here are the names of 3 awards in sports. Pick one. Your partner must name the sport in which it is given. They are Whiteman Cup, Stanley Cup, Ryder Cup. For $5,000, take your choice.
Professor, your partner has chosen the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, I know the Stanley Cup is hockey, and the
What?
Whiteman Cup, I know
Well,
the
take a
Whiteman
chance.
Cup.
Take a chance.
The Ryder Cup,
Uh-huh.
what is it? Polo?
I'm sorry, Professor. That is the wrong answer. Tex, which was the correct answer for the
The Ryder
Ryder Cup?
Cup, Fred, is given in golf. But you and your partner have answered 4 frames successfully. You win $400. Thanks from the sponsors of Take Your Choice.
Mr. Allen.
Yes,
and
Portland?
Here are 2 contestants selected from our studio audience
Yes?
to play Take Your Choice, Mr. and Mrs. Derryberry of Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, thank you very much. How are things going, Portland, in your department? What do you mean? What does this mean?
I can't think of anything to say.
Why, so you just threw this in, huh? Well, it's a form of digital ad-libbing, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. I've never come across it before. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Derryberry of Nashville, Tennessee, I see here. Tell me, Mr. Berry, what do you do down there in Nashville? What is your profession?
Chief Barber Inspector.
You are a barber. You inspect the barbers of the
I
state
inspect
of...
the barber shops and sanitation and see that they don't have any false advertisements such as growing hair, something like that.
You mean that people cannot grow hair?
Don't look like it up here, does it?
Well, you've got some on the side there. You're on the fringe of it. I mean, if you could get that closed up, that little gap there, you'd be in business again.
Be all right.
Well, tell me, how do you like working for the state of Tennessee?
I like it fine. I work for one of the greatest governors in the state, I think. He's very young. And I think he's
What
really...
is his name? I don't know his
Governor Frank Clemens.
name. Governor Clemens.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh. And he is a wonderful governor, huh?
I think so. Wonderful.
Well, how did you get your job as a barber inspector?
He gave it to me.
Oh. Well, did you know the governor, Governor Clemens, before you got the job?
I sure did. Used to cut his hair.
You did. You clipped him for a job, in
That's
other
right.
words. Well, tell me, what is it you do, Mrs. Derryberry?
I'm a corset fitter.
A corset fitter,
That's
really?
right.
Well, good for you. In these times, you're certainly more than holding your end up, aren't you? How long have you been with this packing enterprise?
Over 10 years.
10 years,
And
really?
that's where I met Mr. Derryberry.
Oh, really? Mr. Well, this provokes some thinking here. Mr. Derryberry didn't come in to get a foundation garment or anything, did he?
no. His sister works with me here.
Oh, I see.
And one afternoon, I was outside fitting this fat woman for a corset, and Mr. Derryberry's sister was in the back of me.
Oh, two of you on the job, huh?
Whoever's on the job, she was so big it took both of us.
Well, she must have. Well, what finally happened?
Well, she came over and introduced me to Mr. Derryberry, and he took a liking to me, and I took a liking to him. And so
Like that?
Oh, well, we both like to dance, and we like sports, fishing, and hunting.
Oh, do you? Do you hunt together?
Yes, we do.
Are you a good shot?
Well, I'm a pretty good shot, but he's a crackerjack shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, anytime you come find Mr. Derryberry, you'll find him out in the backyard just knocking off beer cans, coming and going. He's a good shot.
Well, you don't need a gun to knock off the beer can. I would think that Mr. D would be loaded and the gun could be empty there. But the time has come for you now to take your choice. Remember, you understand the game. Now, one must choose the questions and try to select the easiest possible questions for the other person to answer. Now, who would like to do the choosing and who would like to do the answering?
Well, I'll do the choosing. You're smarter than I am.
Ah.
I'll try, though.
Well,
I think
it's
so.
very nice of
You
you
know,
to
they
say.
all think they are anyway.
Well, it's nice of you to... It's nice of you to help out the illusion, Mrs. Derryberry. Well, if you're going to do the choosing, if you'll go over to the question board to Tex and he'll explain things to you, Mr. Derryberry, if you will come with me, you and I will solve our problems here together. If you'll take a chair, comfortable chair, without looking at our questions. Now, remember, Mr. Derryberry, you must answer the questions your wife chooses for you. It's up to her to pick the ones that are easiest for you. 5 answers in a row will give you both $5,000. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, let us have our... Are you ready? Good. Ready as we'll ever be, huh?
That's right.
All right, Tex, let's have our first questions, please.
All right, Fred. Here are the names of 3 things as they are known in England. Pick out one, and your partner must tell what it is called in the United States. They are pram, tram, lorry. Take your choice.
Pram.
Baby carriage, isn't it?
That is correct, sir. All right, that's 1 down, 4 to go for $5,000. Let's have our second questions, please.
All right, Fred, here are the titles of 3 famous books. Pick one, and your partner must name its author. They are Pilgrim's Progress, From Here to Eternity, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Take your choice.
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
She knew I was reading that from head to turn.
That won't help. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Who
A
wrote it?
woman named Stowe, wasn't it?
Harriet Beecher Stowe. That is correct. Right, now you have 3 more to go to the $5,000. Let's have our next questions text, please.
Here are the names of 3 screen stars who have won the Academy Award. Pick one, and your partner must name the picture in which the award was won. They are Broderick Crawford, Jose Ferrer, Jennifer Jones. Take your choice.
Jose Ferrer.
Don't know that.
Well, take a chance. Take a chance. Don't waste it. You have 5 more seconds. Well, say anything. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Derryberry. You have no answer at all. You should have tried something at least and have a chance at it. What was the correct answer?
Mrs. Derryberry chose Jose Ferrer.
That's right.
Jose Ferrer won the Academy Award in Cyrano de Bergerac. However, you and your partner did answer 2 frames successfully. You win $200 thanks from the sponsors of Take Your Choice.
Mr. Allen.
Yes, Portland.
Here are 2 more contestants chosen from our studio audience to play Take Your Choice.
Uh-huh.
First, Miss Sally McCahill,
Yes.
an engaged girl from White Plains, New York. And Mr. Morty Mantell, a shoe salesman from Newark, New Jersey.
Well, that's fine, Portland. You're doing well.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
are you sure Faye Emerson started this way?
Yes. You keep right along these lines, and you will have people in sketches years to come, too, Portland. Well, it's nice, Miss Sally McCahill and Morty Mantell. You, of course, you haven't been sleeping during the early part of our show, so you know how Take Your Choice is played, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you're going to have an opportunity to play very shortly. But first, we want to have a little conversation. Sally, it says here that you're an engaged girl. Congratulations. When are you getting married?
Thank you very much. June 12th.
June 12th?
Yes.
June bride, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, June is not far away. Do you know where you're going to live?
Well, that's a dispute. Don wants to live in New Jersey, and I want to live in New York.
Oh, really?
So we're going to try to find someplace in between.
Someplace in between. Something tells me you will be living halfway through the Holland Tunnel. If you... Congratulations, Sally. And I want to talk a little to Mr. Mantell here. Morty Mantell. Do you mind if I call you Morty?
No, sir.
Is that what your friends call you?
Sometimes they call me Shorty.
They call you Shorty Morty, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, how short are you, Mort?
I'm 5'2".
5'2".
Yes.
And you are a shoe salesman, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, you're not far from your work, are you?
No.
I mean, you don't have to bend down. You're there if a customer comes in. Your shoe store is in Newark, is it?
Yes, sir.
Newark. What's the name of the store? Might as well mention it.
Mantell Shoe Store.
Mantell Shoe Store. Do you live in Newark?
Yes, sir. I was born in Newark. I was raised in Newark. I went to school in Newark, and I even got married in Newark.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You, well, you've certainly done everything a man can do in Newark except getting out of Newark. That's about the only thing you have left. Do you, Marty, I take it that you like Newark very well.
Yes, I like Newark better than I do New York.
Really? Well, what does Newark got that New York hasn't?
We have 2 burlesque theaters.
I forgot. I see, Morty, that you are a man with civic pride. 2 burlesque houses. Well, you may be in the shoe business, but something tells me that your mind is not on the feet. Now it's time for us to take our choices, or take your choice. You know how the game is played. One has to select the answers and the questions, rather. And who would like to do the choosing?
I'll do the choosing. She looks like she can answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Morty, if you'll go over to text Antoine and the question board, and he will explain the choosing operation to you. And Sally, if you'll come with me, we'll go over here to the to the throne, and you will be queen for the next 4 or 5 minutes that we have to last us through the questioning period. Now, Sally, as you know, you must answer the questions Morty is going to select for you. It's up to him to pick the easiest ones for you as he judges them. And 5 answers in a row, of course, and you will win. You and Morty will have $5,000. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Well, I hope so, too. All right, let's have our first questions.
All right, here they are, Fred. The names of 3 cities. Morty, pick one, and your partner must name the river it is on. They are Rome, Philadelphia, Vienna. Take your choice.
Philadelphia.
Oh, good. I live there. Delaware.
Delaware is correct. Well, that's fine, Sally. That's 1 down, 4 to go for $5,000. Let's have our next questions text, please.
All right, Fred, here are the names of 3 well-known married men that are married to famous women. Now, Morty, you pick one, and your partner must name his wife. They are Dick Powell, Tony Martin, George Montgomery. Take your choice.
George Montgomery.
Dinah Shore.
That is correct. Well, you have 3 more to go to the $5,000. Let's have our next question text, please.
All right, Fred, here are the names of 3 foreign dishes when it comes to cooking. Morty, pick one, and your partner must name the country where it originated. They are haggis, shashlik, poi. Take your choice.
Poi.
Oh, fish and poi. That's Hawaii.
That is correct. Well, that's one thing you can cook now. And my goose, if you keep on with these questions here. You have 2 more frames to go, Sally, and you and Morty will have $5,000. Are you all composed? Are you ready? We put our faith in Morty, don't we? All right, let's have our next questions text.
All right, Fred, here are the names of 3 great medical discoveries. Morty, pick one, and your partner must name the man who discovered it. They are penicillin, streptomycin, insulin. Take your choice.
Penicillin.
That's Sir Fleming. Sir Alexander Fleming.
That is correct. And now, Sally, here comes the big question. You answer this correctly, and you and Morty have $5,000. You want to have a little rest before you start? A little drink of water?
That would be very
An
nice.
aspirin?
3.
All right, now, let's hope for the best. I want to wish you good luck. All right, let us have our big question text, please.
All right, Fred, for $5,000, here are the names of 3 women in Congress. Pick one. Your partner must name the state she represents. They are Catherine St. George, Frances P. Bolton, Edith Norris Rogers. For $5,000, take your choice.
Morty has chosen, Sally, for $5,000, Catherine St. George.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, don't give up now. There's too much at stake here. Just all you have to do is guess a state and guess anyone. I mean, just don't give up like Mr. Derryberry. He just gave up. And
New York.
New York?
Oh, no.
That's correct.
This may be out of business. We may be out of business as of tonight. I'm not sure. That certainly was news to me. I want to congratulate you, Sally and Morty. Tell me, what are you going to do with your share of the money? You want to go into business with Morty? give up this other fellow, Don?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe we could use some furniture. We don't have any furniture.
Well, you can get this put into pennies and sit on this around the house. And Morty, what do you think you will do with your share of the money?
Maybe buy some more shoes.
Buy some more shoes. Well, I want to thank you both, and I want to congratulate you both. I want to thank you for coming, and give our congratulations from the sponsors of Take Your Choice. Thank you.
Mr. Allen?
Yes, Portland. Something told me when I looked in your face that we have either run out of contestants or run out of money.
That's right. And we have no more time either.
No more time? Well, I tell you, if we have no more time, no more contestants, no more money, we might as well close up the store. You remember what George M. Cohan said?
Yes? If you can't leave them laughing, at least leave them.
That is true. And that is just what we are going to do at this very moment.
Good night, Mr. Allen.
And good night, Mrs. Allen. And good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.